Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to tonight's edition of Prime on My Media Prime TV. The first for this week, we're going to be looking at a phenomenon that has been going on for so many years now. So many Cameroonians, hundreds of them, are trapped in West African nations, lured thereby fake jobs. Most of them have been contacted by relatives and friends from either Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, or Benin and other, especially in Nigeria, promising them very, very well paid a job. Arriving in Ghana or Cote d'Ivoire or Nigeria, they find themselves stranded. So many of them do not know even how to come back to Cameroon. We're going to be looking at what is pushing Cameroonians out there and possibly looking at what they need to do not to fall victims of these offers. Also noting that last week, over 200 Cameroonians were deported from Equatorial Guinea, and so many persons are also asking what is pushing them out there. How do we make Cameroon that El Dorado that will not cause our youths to want to move to Nigeria, Ghana, and Mali and other countries in search of jobs that are not existing, or to find themselves in very difficult situations out there in Equatorial Guinea as well as other nations? We are aware of what is happening even in the United States of America, where the president says that illegal immigrants should leave the nation. We are not also unaware of what our Cameroonian brothers and sisters are going through in the hands of other nationals, like in Kuwait, in Lebanon, amongst other Asian countries. We are going to be looking at this with panelists who are with me in the studio. Dr. Nick Ngwanyam is in the studio with us this evening. He is a politician, an educationist, and a social entrepreneur. Good evening, Doctor. We're glad to have you.
Oh, thank you very much, Leo. I think I love the topic this evening because whatever I do is to address this problem. What are the push and pull factors as far as this issue is concerned? And when I see children dying in the Mediterranean Sea, dying in the Sahara Desert, some captured as slaves and their kidneys removed and so on, when I see a lot of youths lining in front of embassies very early in the morning in the cold, I feel so disturbed. I'm really disturbed, and we are responsible for the problem, and we are also responsible for correcting it. It's not the problem of the kids.
Okay. We also are having evangelist Malcolm Nganje coming all the way from Boya, Southwest Regional Capital. Good evening, Apostle. We are glad to have you.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here too today. And the topic on ground is one that is very touching. It is very, very touching because, like you said, it is not the first time that this is happening. And I've really been asking myself so many questions why. One time I even tried to ask some youths to understand the mindset of the people, and I can say this problem is an issue of mindset more than even the economic situation of the country. So I believe that throughout this particular program, what we are going to be sharing will really be a lot of help to everyone, both parents and children, both youths and old, are really going to understand how we can tackle this problem.
We also have Song Derek in the studio with us. He's a member of Cameroon's civil society. We're glad to have you. Good evening. Glad to.
Good evening, Mr. Leo, and good evening to my co-panelists. It's a pleasure to share the platform and talk about this very sensitive topic. Remember, we are not only talking about deportation, we are talking about desperation, we are talking about pull and push factors, and you realize that when hope is lost, people prefer to die internationally than to die locally.
Okay. Tanto Edward is also a member of Cameroon Civil Society. He's in the studio with us for the very first time on Prime. Good evening, Mr. Tanto. Glad to have you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Thank you for having me on this on this wonderful platform to talk about this is an African problem because all the youth of this wonderful continent, they all find themselves dying at the Mediterranean, at the desert, at the Mexico forest, trying to go abroad for greener pastures. So I think addressing this problem tonight is a very wonderful one.
Okay, Dr. Nick Ngwanyam, before we get to the deportation that we are observing from Equatorial Guinea, because people are there for reasons, we are also very aware of what is happening in the United States of America. Lots and lots of deportations, not only of Cameroonians, but people around the globe. Let's start with this issue of fake jobs. I've written extensively on my platform telling people not to be deceived that they have very well-paid jobs in Nigeria, well-paid jobs in Togo, Ivory Coast, Benin, Mali, Ghana, to be precise. Even a group of young Cameroonians were caught in Bafoussam recently, camped somewhere, and each of them had paid 600,000 francs. It's the same. What obtains out there? Why do we fail to listen to people who say every day that please don't go for these jobs because they are not existing?
Now, thank you very much. I like the way the thread you are taking. We are laying the blames on the children who are putting their lives at risk and not giving the money to go to some Eldorado that they have never seen. And you know, it's such a beautiful story. And don't forget, you know, there's first the desire to go out there for adventure. Who doesn't want to go to America and be part of this Eldorado, be part of the American dream or whatever? But this is the bottom line. When you have children who are in secondary school and in high school, they have their dreams. And when they have gone to university, they think that just because they went to university, they would do a thing that they have always wanted to do. Get married to the most beautiful and also be a president, parliamentarian, I don't know. All these youths have dreams, but their dreams come crashing when they leave university and start facing their reality. I must tell you that as long as students are sitting on the bench, they're oblivious to reality. And it's when they actually leave school and then parents and sponsors, they move to the back, because they were all this while they have been at the receiving end. The first 25 years, they are at the receiving end and having these fancy dreams of what they want to be and what life ought to be, and defining all sorts of dreams for themselves. But when they leave high school or when they leave university, and you know, you would leave with the first degree and realize that it's tough, you go and do a master's. When you leave a master's, you see that you're still not making it, you go and do a PhD. When you do the PhD and you still see it's not making it, then you must go and cry at the ministry. So it's a issue on broken streams, and they have no other hopes. So when somebody comes is selling them an illusionary dream, a dream that or something that does not exist, they easily fall for it. While we are talking about falling for jobs, that's how women too fall for men who just sell them empty dreams of marriage and so on. That is how 419 takes us on issues. I mean, I might be sitting here and blaming these children, but how many times have 419 hit me because they come up with something that is so beautiful and I think is real? So it is the phenomenon of 419 that is packaged for youth. So while those of us adults might be blaming them, we have our own packages that come to us. I don't want, if I tell you how many times I've been hit, you'll be surprised.
Whoa, by 419?
419, yeah. But you have to, one thing you have to, when you have been hit once, twice, and thrice, when you have paid the Newman tax, then you also need to learn to understand their mindset, know how they work, and then be like them, so that by the time they are saying, "Good morning, doctor," you know it's a failure. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Leo, please tell the technicians to adjust the microphones. We can barely hear what you guys are saying. Eli, I hope everything has been fixed. This is the third person complaining. I hope you've adjusted the microphones and the sound. You think that it is also out of desperation. Our children, our brothers and sisters have been to school hoping that one day after obtaining the first degree, you're going to have the jobs, no job. do masters, and even when they look to what is happening to those who graduated before them, there is just no way. They easily fall prey to these offers.
Yes, it is true that the way our society is, it is very hard for somebody to leave school and then get a job, have their dreams come to life. These things are not new. It is not today that we have been seeing these failures everywhere. It is not as if those that are going out there they have not experienced or see an example around them of these things. But I also want to believe that the reason why these fake jobs and is still carrying out a lot of Cameroonians out is because most Cameroonians have this mentality that they can only make it out of Cameroon. And secondly, they have this mentality that when you go out of the country, when you come back, people that are here, they will respect you and give you more honor. It's a mindset. That is a mindset. Some people want to go out because they want their friends to respect them and honor them more, have more respect, love for them. So that mindset is already there. You see somebody who tell you, I must fall bush no matter what happens. What do you want to go and do? You have a good job here. You have something that you are doing that is you earn 100,000 and above. Why do you still want to go out? Don't you see this person went out and now the person is building a skyscraper? Don't you see the other person went out and now the person has achieved this and achieved that? So that peer pressure is there. They want to meet up. They want to get it big very fast. And whenever you want to get it big very fast, you fall into such traps. So I believe that it is time that our youth Cameroonians open their eyes to understand that taking one step at a time can actually get you to that big dream. And having a good plan can also get you there. There are many people that are building 5 stories, 6 stories everywhere. They are in Cameroon. They didn't go out of this country. They made it here. And they are doing something. So why can't you follow that line? Why can't you meet them? Why can't you ask for direction? I believe that if we begin to reframe, change our...
You mean so many opportunities exist in Cameroon? Is that what you say?
Yes.
Are they not going out because they are frustrated? So many thousands of our Cameroonians graduate from our universities. What are these opportunities? How do you survive with 120,000 francs as salary in a town like Douala?
Okay. I would like to take an example. Some few years ago, I met one man that was working with CDC. And they paid this man 65,000. But this man has a house that he built from his salary.
65,000?
65,000. He has a house that he built from his salary because he had a good plan. Today we have credit unions everywhere. Credit unions are there to help people, and they really do help people. When you have a good plan and you meet them, you have a savings with them, they will help you. I want to stand on this other side of the line, that it is all about a change of mindsets. Cameroonians need to start changing their mindsets. They need to start having a secure plan on ground. There are many bodies, NGOs that are organizing seminars to teach youths how to make it in Cameroon. Some are taking that as an opportunity and they are actually making a change in their lives. But others, they just hear and they think, oh, this is not possible. But of which it is possible. For example, take pastry. Many people are doing well through pastry today, which was not the case some time ago. Now I'm seeing food processing is coming up. Many people are getting into production of juice. They are making it. That is great. Cameroonians need to start thinking more on self-empowerment, entrepreneurship. I believe that is the way out, and it is really going to help a lot. Like I love the vision of Dr. Nick in the house. His vision to teach, not just give you education, but also to show you how you can use your education to make a better life for yourself. So we need to come out of the box blaming parents, blaming the government, and look inside. What are we doing? What are we thinking about our future? And take this future not in the negative way, but in the positive way. I cannot see on TV, hear on news, how people are dying on a road to go to Mexico. And then I take 1 million francs, which is a very big capital, from so many businesses in Cameroon. I say I'm going to Mexico to go and do what? So it's all about educating the youth to have a different mindset. A different mindset. If we keep on telling them the government is supposed to give you jobs, since the government has not given you jobs, so you have to take it in your hands.
Yeah, Mr. Song, Derek. The question many persons are asking, those who are defrauding Cameroonians, proposing inexistent jobs out there, very well paid jobs out there, are Cameroonians themselves. It's either your friend or a relation or somebody who is close to you will tell you that I'm enjoying, only for you to come and join in the misery. Why would Cameroonians bring their brothers and sisters over to start suffering like they have done for years?
Yeah, we thank you very much, Mr.
Or it's also a scheme to survive.
Yes, we are living in the jungle. We are living in the jungle now. That's a situation where it's a survival of the fittest. It's not only happening about that. It's a situation even out of the country, where in countries like the Arab countries, you see our brothers, they will sign in contract with employers to provide them with laborers for very cheap amounts. And it's business. It has become business because anywhere money circulates. You cited the case of Bafoussam. I think I have almost became a victim.
Okay.
Sadly enough, the person who was talking to me was somebody I knew.
Yeah, so many persons have reported. Yes.
We've talked together. We've been together, and he kept telling me he knew about my education background. You've studied so well, you're intelligent, you can quickly adapt to this. And he never asked for any of my certificates. He just told me that no, if you drop in 500,000 francs, they'll send you a code, that will be that, and they'll send you an admission letter, or you can come to the headquarters in Bafoussam. So I understand that. But I think we should face facts squarely. If the citizens of a country are caught by a trap, we need to ask ourselves what is pushing them. That's why in Dr. Nick's open words, he talks about we must understand the push and the pull factors. And I made a statement that when you see that staying home is equivalent to death, some people feel like, when you are drowning and you see a snake, you can hold on to it thinking that it is a rope until you have a better option. So it is sad that the country sending back Cameroonians, I think if it is the United States sending back Cameroonians, I will not have a problem, because United States has built its economy and we are going there to enjoy what they have built for over years. But if it is Equatorial Guinea sending back Cameroonians, the question is, what happened that Cameroonians left and their only hope could be going to Equatorial Guinea? It goes back to the kind of jobs they offer. They tell you that you'll be paid. Another one talked to me that he was in South Africa. Send your CV. I sent all my documents. They say, in South Africa, you're just going to be in the warehouse, you do this, you do this. And later on, they said, oh, we're going to process everything for you freely, but you will send this amount for your
600 something
for your
thousand
document to be certified. It's all those things, they happen. But Mr. Lo, what is pushing us to go? My brother, when he speaks, he says, in Cameroon now, if you don't know, the cost of living is killing the living. Yes, the cost of living is almost killing the living. Your take-home salary, your take-home pay cannot take you home. It leaves you halfway. And you see, we live in a society where, in a country where everybody, if you go to the street, if you see somebody saving money, the person is not saving that money to start a business. People are saving money in Cameroon to leave Cameroon. But it becomes eminent for the leaders of the country. The highest resource a country has is its human resource. Take all the gold mine. Without a good human resource, we will mismanage it, like the case we have. So Cameroonians are not dull, because those who leave this country, they survive. Those who go out, if you want to check the best doctors out in the Western world, you see Cameroonians, you see Nigerians, you see Ghanaians. But back in their countries, they are not good, they are not well paid. So if you live in a country where the human resource aspect is not well respected, people falling at any point. That's why I said the syndrome in Cameroon, the traveling syndrome in Nigeria, the Nigerians will call it the Japa syndrome. It's very high in a way that, Mr. Leo, your platform the other day, in a way that I said that Cameroon has become a country where when you speak like Dr. Nick, or you speak intelligently, people will ask you, what are you doing in this country? It is a sign that this country is not for normal people. And everybody wants to get it better outside there. If they bring that, but the advice we have for our brothers and sisters are here, we understand that there is a frustration. Come to think of it, do you think that the Cameroon government has statistics of the working population? That's where we should start from. If we have the statistics of the people who are eligible, they are able to work in this country, then we have statistics of unemployment. Because when you are underemployed, you are unemployed. If the country had that statistics, we would have been pushing towards job creation. And then we will fine-tune our education system in a way that when we go to school, we will not learn big English. We're going to be speaking pidgin and creating.
Okay,
we're going to be leaving school, opening tomato factories to employ others. But we train a system where Cameroon, I say Cameroon is a matriculated country. When we leave the country, we want to get into the government. Once the government fails, the only thing we see is being out of the country. And the peanuts that they pay us out of the country makes sense. Because in as much as we think that they pay us in dollars, when you convert it to Cameroon currency, it makes a lot of sense. So all of us, people prefer that rather than stay in Cameroon, suffocating, dying nationally. Some people prefer to enter the plane and have an international debt.
Good evening to you, Maliva Banda, a Nongo Robinson conscience talker, Ngome degree. Okay, Mr. Tanto Edward, is it ignorance that people would believe that in some African countries we have very well paid jobs like what obtains in the United States and other Western nations, when we really know that the economies are not also doing well? What convinces an individual to believe that, okay, I will just go, because they tell you that you work as a server or whatsoever and you are paid at least 600,000 francs?
Well, Mr. Leo, as I earlier said, this is an African problem. Cameroon, like any other African country, we lack jobs. There are no works. You know, even our educational system, it just helps us to speak good English with empty stomach. That is why you see our brothers and sisters, they prefer to go out. Because going out, even if you have a job here, you work here, they will pay you 45,000. Most of the teachers that teach in private schools here, they pay them 45,000, 40,000. And it cannot help them. It cannot really survive them. So they have to go out. I've seen doctors, those who are doctors and nurses, they abandon it here and go to do household job in Europe, because over there they pay them better. This problem will put it on the government, because our authorities, our leaders, they are the ones to at least ameliorate the situation, like create jobs and employ our youth and then pay them better so that we can stay here. It will also help us to stay here, because if you are working here and they pay you, somebody working here, maybe a doctor, and they're paying him 100,000 francs, and somebody working in a restaurant in Dubai washing plates and they're paying him 270,000, he will come here and better the life of his family. And you yourself, you ask yourself, because we have there is something we call the future, your destiny. At time when you begin to run out of age, you see as if you are wasting time. Then you sacrifice to go out there and see how you can catch up. Yeah, that is what it pushes people to go out. So I think the government will really have to see what to do, and then create jobs and employ people, employ the youth. If we are talking about Equatorial Guinea sending back, deporting Cameroonians, very soon Cameroonians will start going to Burkina Faso to look for greener pastures, because any country that try to better their own situation and create employment, because in Africa, in Central Africa, Cameroon is almost becoming the last. Like to say they don't have the youth are more displaced.
But we have so many Chadians in Cameroon. We have so many Central Africans in Cameroon. We have so many Nigerians in Cameroon. Malians are in Cameroon. Senegalese are in Cameroon.
Good.
So many of them.
Their job. What are they doing? You see them. These are people that they just leave their country because of war either, and they find themselves in any other African country. But
they're surviving in Cameroon and making good money.
Most of them you see on the street, they don't rent houses. They can be in a one room for about 7 or 20 of them. Some sleep on the streets.
Yeah, but our brothers who are in Dubai do same.
You see, and their own work that they do here, the kind of job they do here, Cameroonians, maybe with what they have studied in school, they are, it is your future, it is your dream.
Is that not exactly what he was saying? It's a mindset issue, because if you were to go down the Bunamusadi, you discover that those who have opened this
cafeteria,
yes, they're Malians, they're Senegalese, and they're making good money. Investing back home. We have cafeteria. They are doing it. Why are Cameroonians not doing that? Because those guys are making money.
Really, Mr. Leo, when you take the comparison, for example, you will not say a Cameroonian should what they do. They sew shoes. They
no, that's not what I'm saying. Take it. Are you used to Bunamusadi?
Not really.
Just go around Bunamusadi. You see all of those doing these pressing jobs. Yes. They are Senegalese, they are Malians, they are these guys from West Africa. The cafeteria you find around Bunamusadi, they're making much money.
Yes. Thank you very much. You've not asked me a specific question.
Okay.
Let me just throw in a few things. When I listen to the panelists, I can tell very clearly that Mr. Tanto, you have you've come out of our university system, and you think exactly that like most of our professors and teachers and many others. You see, it's a mindset. That's that mindset we're talking about. And when you have this impression that some jobs are dirty and some jobs are clean, that's where you start to make the first mistake. And when you just take people as a whole, we're talking about Malians and Senegalese here. My daughter was giving me a clear picture of, my daughter works in the bank. She's a director in the bank. And she was giving me a clear picture of what happens. If you go to Marché Central in Douala here, and Marché Central in Douala, you will see those that are selling, these wrapper materials,
Yeah.
The people that sell the most expensive wrapper materials are Malians. Marché Central is not chaotic. There's an area for Malians, area for these Nigerians, area for Cameroonians, and so on. And she tells me that the economy is in the hands of the Malians. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are looking at Malians, the ones you are aware of are the ones that are struggling on the streets, but you are not aware of those who are making it big. She is in the bank and she sees the money transfers that are going out and so on. The Malians are making a big Cameroon scene. Flooding into Cameroon. Why? Because there are a lot of opportunities here.
So many.
But the way the Nigerians grew and trained themselves, they can see the opportunities. While you are here, you are going to the university, you are blind like a bat. You don't see them. Do you understand? They are seeing what you are not seeing. And if you don't know, the Chinese have been coming to Cameroon and other African countries looking for ways and means of frying puff on the streets. It's just that Cameroonians have said, no, we cannot allow you to. You are doing the big things and now you are coming for our puff. So you see the frying of the puff and you think it's nothing. But the Chinese over there sees the frying of the puff as a gold mine. So until we change that mindset, you are not going to make it. The other day I was just thinking, get a child to go to a vocational school or a technical school and learn to wire a house properly, and learn to do car electricity properly, and learn to repair air conditioners, fridges, and so on. That child has more value to himself and to the society than someone who has a PhD and tells only stories. That's the bottom line. We have come to a point, we go to school. The sound is still not good?
Yes, okay.
Okay, we go to school, we have not defined exactly why we go to school. In Cameroon, we think that we go to school to have certificates and then throw I'm a doctor, I'm a PhD. The whole day, I spend the whole day quarreling with one guy just about his certificates. He's a professor, and he says he doesn't like the way I talk. So, these are some basic things. Now, I just wanted to clear the air, but let me lay some basic facts. You have to understand. You have to understand this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know if you've heard about it, Mr.
No.
I've heard about it.
Heard about it?
Yeah.
Do you understand what
supposed
it
to
is?
fix it.
No.
Is it now that you have to fix
Maslow's
it?
hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy. It answers the question: why do people behave the way they do? What pushes you to do what you are doing? What motivates you? That inner drive. Okay. If you don't understand it, you will get a lot of things wrong, and you interpret what you are seeing wrongly. First and foremost, let me put it this way. You see the United Nations, where presidents of all the nations gather every year. Let us carry an experiment where we deprive all of them of food and water. Yeah, they are presidents. They feel very big. I'm telling you, they will fight. So if you deprive people of food, if you deprive people of air, you deprive people of water, you deprive people of the opportunity to empty their bladders and their bowels, you deprive people of sleep. These are basic physiological needs. They will fight you, even if it's strong. Okay? So that's proud of my father. And you get what? It doesn't matter. Because the moment ago you were talking about shoe mending and thinking that's a bad thing.
No.
It's just that we need to help our children to learn all the trades and help them to establish and do it in a good way. Are you getting me? You are seeing the suffering that is accompanying it. Even like farming, when you ask people to go to the farm, they are seeing the back-breaking thing. But how can you do farming so that we do it like Americans? You get the point. And then to the fifth point, the fifth thing now is what self-actualization. Brother wanted to be a pastor, right? An evangelist. You are an evangelist. You became that evangelist. The question is, and so what? Are you getting me? So Kum here wanted to be have a TV and be the director of My Media Prime. Now that you have a TV, you are the director of My Media Prime. And so what? Paul Biya, you wanted to be the president of Cameroon. You have been the president of Cameroon. So what? When you ask the question, and so what? It takes you to the sixth level, which is out of that triangle. The sixth level, when you're wise, you begin to realize that when you ask the question, and so what, it pushes you now to the transcendental phase. The transcendental phase is when you have overcome yourself and realize that you have happiness only when you attend to the needs of others. You have a sense of worth and usefulness. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Money like Bill Gates,
You have money like all those big people, but that money is useless as long as you don't help other human beings. Are you now beginning to see? So it's when you have attended that point and you begin to realize that these things have no meaning, then you turn and then you find meaning in helping others. That's when you have arrived. That's when you have wisdom and so on. So this is how things work, and it's in that framework. And before I give back the microphone, things work. It doesn't matter where. Things work based on 4 key issues. 3, the first 3 are politics, and I've said it many times, politics. The second one is economics. The third one is development. Okay? And then now all these things are controlled by the type of education that we have. And some and the others, they were making it very clear that our education in Cameroon has failed. So when we'll be going to the root causes, we'll be looking at the quality of education. That's where we need to correct it.
Yeah, but Doc, the question I want to ask is that these are people who engage in heavy investments to travel.
Yes.
And you end up traveling
Yes.
with the possibility of being deported.
Yes.
Yeah. How do we raise 6, 7, 9 millions? We have seen so many cases
Yes.
on social media crying
Yes.
now that I've raised this amount
Yes.
because I want to send my child.
Yes.
What mindset makes us to sell our plots, our
Yes.
houses, sell a lot for 9 million just to send a child out, and will not think that we should invest something for that child?
Good. You are asking them, would not think that we should invest. Did you teach them how to invest? That's the problem. Invest how? In what?
In what?
So when because we have a one-track mind, we are not like let me name a set of people that we need to copy. You need to be like the Igbos. We need to be like the Bamilekes in this. We need to be like the. If there were no Bamilekes in this country, Cameroon would be nothing. Let me say it. We need to be like the Israelites. We need to be like the Lebanese. Have you not seen the Lebanese around this country? We need to be like the Indians. We need to be like the Chinese. This is the kind of thinking that we need to understand. How comes others can see opportunities in Cameroon and come and are making the best use of the opportunities where we don't see? So technically, we are blind. That's the problem of Cameroon, is that we are all blinded, and we need to cure ourselves of that blindness. We will leave Cameroon and run. Others will come and pick it up, dust it, and use it, and will become their slaves. The problem is we are blind, and we have mental slavery. Our minds are not right. We didn't get it right. We have gone to school, but we still have cataracts. You can be a professor, but you are as blind as a bat.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo, and all the crew on board. This is very interesting topic tonight. I've had a very bad experience traveling overseas, and some of our brothers fake jobs abroad to extract money from desperate people who want to go out for greener pastures, especially in the Middle East. The conditions there are really terrible. Even if you have a job there, the pay package is low, and you have to even fight with your employer before being paid. Long working hours and living conditions are also very terrible, not to talk less of. Some of our brothers who use tourist visas to go there, they find it very difficult to get a job, and some will even enter overstay, which you need to clear the fines before you even exit the country. And Maurice, writing from Bamenda, these are also some of the pictures that those who are telling you there are jobs don't paint.
That is it. That is why I believe that one of the solutions to this problem is to bring up some of these people that have traveled out. Let them come and tell you the truth. I have had the opportunity to go out of Cameroon, and I will tell you that when you go out there and you face all that is out there, you will know that Cameroon is heaven on earth. I'm telling you the truth. When you have not seen the suffering out there, the danger out there, you will not know how good or how much wealth Cameroon has. Like you were talking about shoe mending. I wanted to get to all these kind of things. People are falling, let me use our language. People are falling bush in Cameroon, and they are building mansions in their nations. And Cameroonians are saying that there is no job. Pobia has not given us job. This has not happened, that has not happened. And people are making it. The problem is mindset. The problem is mindset. If only we are going to change our mindset. Why are you going to school? to become what? Okay, like I said before, we are not ignorant of the problems. We are not ignorant of the fact that Cameroon government is not creating jobs. We are not ignorant of the fact that maybe there is embezzlement, there is this, there is that, all that we can name, all you know. What should you do now? Now that I am in this situation, what do I do? This is my brother, the next door brother. He's making it. He's building a house. He did not travel. How did he do it? What is his secret? People are making it, yeah. People are actually making it. The other day I was talking with somebody in Boya. This person is selling yaourt and gâteau. You know this person makes a profit of 10,000 every day. He's hawking profits.
Yes.
Profit after removing the cost of production. He has 10,000 francs profit. Now imagine that this person has a mindset of an entrepreneur and employ another one person. That person probably is paying that person, let's say 5,000 every day. He will increase his income to 15,000. You see, if you have 15,000 every day at the end of the month, that's how much. If you now open an account in a good credit union, after 3 months you want to take a larger loan to do something bigger. That is how we grow. You must have plan. Cameroonians youth, we need to have plan. Plan, think. And don't look at these things that we have this mentality also in Cameroon that we don't want to do some jobs that we name them shameful. Shameful. Where I live presently, there's one guy that goes around carrying debts. He comes to our compound. He will carry debt for 3,000, about 2 bags. He has his truck. We'll pay him 2,000. And for a day, this guy will go around carrying debts, and they will pay him sometimes 7,000, 10,000. He'll even go around carrying water for people. They pay him. So at the end of the day, you are saying, I don't have a job, there is nothing to do, I don't have money to eat, and somebody that you are paying to carry your debt is making money. So there are so many opportunities in Cameroon. I believe it is high time for us to stop complaining, stop pointing fingers, and
Yeah, but you want them to invest, except the fact that, like Dr. Nick said, they are not trained in that mindset, which means that the educational system definitely has a problem. Everybody wants to get into an air-conditioned office. That is why when they are told that we have jobs, there are jobs in Ivory Coast and jobs in Mali, they want to go and work. They don't want to do business.
yes. First of all, I am trying to discourage the fact of that. I'm trying to correct a mindset that don't think that Cameroon cannot give you a good life. That's the first thing. There is an opportunity, and there are many opportunities to have a good life in Cameroon. Now, sir, you are saying that there are opportunities for me to have a good life in Cameroon. How do I do that? Then we now move to the next point. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. That's where now, like I said, many organizations in Cameroon are organizing a lot of seminars, empowering youth, like what my brother is putting on. There are many organizations that go around empowering youths how to make that dress. There are many organizations going around empowering youths how to make fruit juice, natural fruit juice, and many of these things. And we even see them online.
How enabling is the market?
Cameroon is still a virgin market.
Okay, it's a virgin market.
Yes.
Mr. Leo, good evening. I like your topic, but let's look at the age group working in our government and see the level of unemployment of youths. I don't think anyone go to school to become a cafeteria. So what do you people want youths to do? Some will be employed for salary for 45K, and at the end of the month, he or she is not paid. The youths are frustrated and choose to go struggle. That's right. Yeah. Let him come and then you.
Thank you very much for this question. I mean, for this comment.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for this comment coming from one of our listeners. And if we are having this program, is actually to answer that question, because if you have listened, our brother who just talked a moment ago, he was saying we correct our mindset. It's a mindset problem. As long as we don't correct a mindset, there is a problem. This is how it works. Jobs in any nation, Cameroon, Germany, America, China included. You have jobs in two major sectors, in the civil service and in the private sector. Now in Cameroon, unfortunately, from the time we went to school and had independence in 1960, everybody was given the idea that jobs are in the civil service. It's wrong. It's a wrong thing. And yes, there used to be jobs in the civil service, and those things now, those opportunities are completely gone. It's been filled up. It's like putting water in a jar, and the jar is full. So there's no more room. But we have left the private sector unattended to, and the private sector is still very primitive and underdeveloped. And that's what we are saying. We have come here to say, look, there are opportunities in the private sector. Let us develop those opportunities. That's why training is in investment, entrepreneurship, all those things are important. And what we are saying is that we have to reset the minds of all Cameroonians to be able to look and think in the direction of the private sector. I'm telling you, I used to, as a medical doctor, my highest salary was 300,000 francs. But today, I don't know, what will I do with 300,000 if you gave me 300,000? If I had stayed in the civil service as long as I cared for, I would not earn more than 500,000 francs a month. But what is that to me? It is nothing. It's peanuts. So, and when you see a lot of people in the public sector, you think they are good. I mean, most of them who are top and managing budgets, much of the money they spill around is stolen money. So it is not their genuine salary. When you see them drinking domperidon, it's not domperidon they bought with their money. So don't get deceived. We are saying that the juice is in the private sector, and the question is, how do we learn to squeeze the juice so that we can enjoy the private sector? And I'm telling you, if we had the opportunity, I keep saying it, look at me, I keep saying, if we had the opportunity, it's very easy for this government to help all of us create 1 million jobs every year. It's because we are not thinking. We have brains, but we don't think. That's our problem.
Okay, we have brains and we don't think. I'll take 2-3 messages and then I get to you, Mr. Derek. Good evening, Mr. Leo, Dr. Nick, and the rest of the panelists. What a great topic you have this evening, sir. The West Africans in Cameroon are making it big. There was an interview with them, Morning Safari, and the Senegalese, Burkinabés, and Nigerians are making it big. One of them said he has 5 million francs to take home to Niger, and he has built 2 houses for his 2 brothers. Cameroon is their own America, Europe. Abdul Joda is writing from Bafoussam Baptist Hospital. Good evening, Mr. Leo. The problem is that most of us think that some jobs are for some particular set of persons. Most Cameroonians think that if you are not a civil servant, then you are not employed. Mr. Leo, I have a guy here who sells goat meat and he is saving 10,000 francs every day and living in his house and married too. But funny enough, he is not a Cameroonian. We need to be wise. Greener pastures should not be based on location. Snazzy is writing from New Bell in Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Kum. CPDM has made Cameroonians orphans. You expect people to go to school and come and sell pear. There is no enabling environment for business. Okay, is that exactly what we're talking about? Yeah. Good evening. I'm Kongmi Zebulun. Yes, we have mentioned about credit union, but the credit union also puts us down because I have also been one victim in Duty Credit Union because I have saved money, but for me to loan or withdraw is one of the problems. What can I do? Okay. Cameroonians are the fix here. They do not know what to do. In school, they were taught that, okay, they had a dream that you become a medical doctor, you become a big lawyer, you're going to become this or that. But those positions are also very few. That is what we don't understand, because almost everybody cannot become a medical doctor. Everybody cannot become a politician to get the fast cash. Everybody cannot become a state council. And now we are graduates and reality dawns on us.
Yes, Mr. Liu, I will be somehow a little radical here.
Okay.
Yes, there is no Cameroonian who was born, who got up one day dreaming to be washing plates in another man's land. There is no Cameroonian. But there are situations that push people. If you tell me how many people you know that are establishing in Cameroon, from Cameroon, there are very few. Let's be very clear. And how the time frame they take to do that. What we are talking about is Cameroonians suffering from deportation. Cameroonians are suffering from deportation because their nation has deported them. We have been deported of hope. We have been deported of education. We have been deported of health facility. We have been deported of a lot of things. And when you see people traveling, even the President of the Republic in his confusion will tell you that we should learn a lesson from Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, who, when he was at the sand mines, nobody knew him. But illegally he left the country, he survived, and he can shake the hands of the president. Back in your country, what he was doing, who recognized him? I think Dr. Nick has put some points clear, and I think when we are talking, we should be fixed on those things. One, countries survive boasting of what? Policies and politics. We cannot be wanting to talk about boosting the private sectors when taxes are hooking us on our necks. Where do you want to invest? How do you survive? We understand that few people survive. Take the population of Cameroon and count the number of people survive, and then put it on a scale with those who have traveled and they are surviving. Put it on a percentage and see who survives better. A person leaves Cameroon, is in the United States 2 years after he has 2 skyscrapers. How many years will you take to save your 10,000 to build a skyscraper in Cameroon? When you are working, they are paying you 40,000 francs. Mr. Liu asked a question. I would have wanted that you should tell us how you can survive with 40,000 francs in this very nation that we are living in. Even 200,000 francs. Analyze how you can survive with that amount. We understand that our education system is quack. It has failed us. We understand that our mindsets have been built to think to be dependent. And why? Why is it that when we leave this country, we go out of the country, we are sweeping streets, and they pay us better than we work in air-conditioned office here and they pay us? So there are a lot of things that we should answer to ourselves, and we should be frank. It is true.
Can I cue you? When you say we work in Cameroon and are paid 40,000 francs, 50,000 francs, paid by who? Why should a proprietor make so much gains and is paying a teacher 40,000 or 50,000 francs? Are we not wicked ourselves?
Good. We will not limit it to a teacher, to every profession, to hostesses, to nurses. Nurses are working in the hospital, they are being paid 40,000. They work from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. They are paid 40,000 francs. Teachers work from morning till 2:30. They are paid 45,000 francs. So I think the problem is about policies. It's the same. Mr. Liu, let's bring it back to say that I want to tell you that it is a policy problem. The government recently has annulled the traveling of teachers, of government teachers out of this country, but the teachers are still traveling. So is it that they are not paid? The government should find out why they are traveling, not stopping them from traveling. You cannot stop somebody from getting it better if they feel like it is better. Because I am one of the believers who believe that the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is green where we watered. So if you water Cameroon, we'll get we'll get green.
Wait, okay.
But Mr. Liu, you cannot water when the tap is locked.
Okay, you cannot water when
you need water to water, and that water is about the policies.
You question the issue of taxation, that it is actually not permitting us to survive. How are these Burkinabes, Senegalese, and others? How are they surviving? They're paying the same taxes.
Cameroon is a black economy. All those guys are operating under the black economy. So the black economy first is an illegal economy. That is where, even on accountability of our budget, our GDP, our everything. Cameroon cannot have.
You mean you can open a pressing or a cafeteria in Bonamusadi, and government officials will let you do it without coming for the tax for almost everything?
Mr. Liu, Cameroon is a black economy. Majority of Cameroon's economy is in the illegal sector.
Yeah, but at least the same government officials that come to Cameroonians come to these guys.
Come to this guy, and they even go there more.
Go to where?
The foreigners.
In Cameroon.
Yes.
In Cameroon, I want to tell you, foreigners have in business. Foreigners have more rights. They negotiate better than citizens in this country. A good example, Mr. Liu, when the Chinese came to this country, I know of a company where the Chinese came, started payment, even with an electronic company. They wanted to be paying workers 150,000 francs. The manager is a Cameroonian. He said, no, how can you pay somebody 150,000 francs? I can bring you people who will sell and you pay them 40,000 francs. So our own brothers are the ones killing us. It's not only a mindset problem, it is a policy problem. And the policy problems comes with a country that does not have, look at what's our minimum wage rate. Okay. Our minimum wage rate is 41,700. But out of the country, they will tell you that they are paying people per hour. You said they are paying somebody 1 hour $8. How much is $8 in Cameroon? If you work 8 hours, out of the country, then you are working the salary of somebody's monthly salary in Cameroon. It's pathetic, and we should be very clear to say that. Let's not take it as if it's a joke. Okay,
I want us to be objective on this televiewer who sent this message. I'm sure the first message I received tonight, the person says that to the person, since Equatorial Guinea is deporting Cameroonians, Cameroon should also deport whosoever is in Cameroon. But these guys are deported because they are illegal in Equatorial Guinea. Don't they have the right to ask that move out of our country until you regulate your stay before you can come and work here? Isn't it normal for any other country to do the same?
Well, Mr. Liu, I think I will put, like I earlier said, we'll continue blaming our authorities. Yeah, because even when somebody creates something by the roadside, taxation is there. The council, they always come to disturb you. Even these guys that are doing bike riding, they fight with the council all day by the roadside. It is not really easy, even when you create something for yourself. And when you talk of the Chinese, many of these Chinese companies, they pay little or no tax to Cameroon government. Yeah, they remove their containers for almost free. That
is what you say. There is nothing that proves that what you're saying. That's what you think. Just make your point.
Yeah. So I'm saying that there are also Cameroonians even in Gabon that sweep roads and do these cafeteria jobs, and they work also. Because when you go out of your own country, there is a force that you have to make it. You know, you are bound to make it by power or by force. Even in Dubai, they do all these odd jobs too. So I think Malians and Nigerians who are here in Cameroon and making it, and it also based on capital. You know, yeah, because like the Nigerians who sell maybe spare parts, who do business at Marché Central, they come with a lot of capital too. They settle them after working for their master. They settle them. But a Cameroonian who maybe left school or maybe just grew up and do maybe house help work, and after that they give you, let's say, they're paying you monthly 20,000, 25,000, and you are not able to save it to make something better out of it, you'll be frustrated. You think going out is the best because you see your brothers and friends who come from abroad, they make it big. So that is what is pushing us. I think the government really have a lot of work to do. Yeah, the government should really sit down and see how they can regulate this situation and change our educational system too. Because when you go to, is it a technical school, you see people, you see very few students. Many are doing history, they are in the grammar sector, they do history, they learn English language, and after university with English language and maybe modern letters, you see that you find yourself wanting in the society. But when you come out from the technical school, and the government is not also encouraging young people, our youth, our children, to go to technical schools so that they can at least come out from school and better their own life. Because normally when you see somebody that comes from a technical school, maybe just with the back, he can work something, maybe an electrician or woodwork or something. He can do something that will give him money. But somebody that comes with finish advanced level with grammar, speaking, and with history will end up teaching in a private sector, in a private school where they will be paying him 35,000 a month. So I think the government really have a lot to do.
Can I just say something for the next question? I'm coming back, and the reason why I step in is because you say some things. If I let it go, the people out there they would pick it up and then think that's how it is. You said a lot of good things, but let me come back to, you mentioned capital. And it's a false thing. People keep saying
that's
capital.
That's the question I wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Okay, rephrase your question now.
That's the question I wanted to ask.
Correct.
He raised the issue of capital.
Yes.
And but when you look at most of these guys, he says the guys from Nigeria, they come with lots of money.
Yeah.
But most of them are established through what they call apprenticeship.
Yes.
Is that not also what is lacking in Cameroonians? Nobody wants to volunteer.
Yes.
Nobody wants to take time to grow.
Yes.
Almost everybody wants to start from the top.
Good. Thank you very much. I'm glad Leo is putting this right on the table. Let us talk about capital. When we say capital, what exactly do we mean by capital? We think that capital is just money. No, capital is a lot of things put together. And let me show you a good example. Have you seen those people that have won at the national lottery? A lot of millions just come to you, boof. Go and check those people. Sometimes it is better not to win that lottery, because when you win that lottery, it ends up creating more problems for you. So money is not the thing. It's not money. If somebody asks you, what is the main thing that you need to make things happen? If you say money, you've got it wrong. You have not understood. It's not money. It's not money, my brothers and sisters. It's not. Have you not seen? I think this one of the lottery is the best example. Then take all these people who are stars in their sports. Those stars in the sports. A lot of money just comes to them. But how comes when their sporting season is over, they are broke and they're suffering in Cartier? Look at musicians and so on. So there is something that is lacking. It is not money. It is that something that is lacking that we must inject in our youths, that we must inject in our people. You must first have that thing. That intangible thing. If you don't have it, it does not matter how much rain falls on you, no crop will grow on your farm. That thing is called skills. It's called capacity. It's called savoir-faire. It's called savoir-vivre. If you don't have skills, you will not make it. So I go to university or whatever. I have learned to be a doctor. Fine, I'm a medical doctor. I have specific skills of being a medical doctor. Now, do I have the skills to open a clinic and run it? I cannot just open a clinic and run it and it will survive just because I'm a medical doctor. No. To make that clinic work, I must have some other skills. I must have entrepreneurial skills of how to make a system work. It's not every Tom, Dick and Harry that can make a system work. You must learn the techniques of management. You must learn the techniques of leadership. You must learn the techniques of raising capital. You must learn the techniques of how to work with people. You must be a good salesman and many other things. All these skills are the things that those Igbo apprentices they learn when they're with their masters. When their masters are settling them and giving them some capital, which it might be money or goods or whatever, you might think that is the most important thing. No, it is what they learned for those years that they were with the master that is really the foundation. Let's put it another way. Our Cameroonian youth broke, yes. Let us carry out a social experiment. Let us take 100 Bamileke children, 100 Igbo children, 100 children from the northwest, 100 children from the southwest. 100 children from the Betilan Ewondo and 100 children from the north who have gone to school, they all have, let's say they all have back. Let us give a million francs to all of these children and then see where they are after 6 months. What do you think the results will be like? The Igbo children will make it. The Bamileke children will make it. Those of the Northwest will make it to a certain extent, but not as much as the Bamileke. What will happen to the youth of the Southwest? What will happen with the Douala youths? What will happen to the youth of Yaoundé? There's a difference. That difference comes from there's a culture.
Yeah, but Doc, we have
Yes.
successful business people from the Southwest.
I have not refused. No, no. I have not refused.
We have Douala guys who are into.
I have not refused. It's an experiment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in an experiment, when I say 100, when I say 100, are you getting what
So
I'm
you
saying?
look at the proportion?
Yes. So if we are going to check amongst the Bamileke, 80% of them would be somewhere, 20% would fail. Am I talking to somebody? Then when we come, if we come to the Southwest, 50% would 50 will succeed, 50 would fail. If we go to no, let's leave the Northwest out of it. If we go to some people that drink Mimbo from 7 o'clock, I don't know who they are. You know, those percentages will be dropping. It's just I'm just trying to project something. If you were to give that money to the Lebanese, to the Indians, to the Chinese, they will multiply it 100-fold. So something is missing. It is that something that is missing that we have to inject in our youths, that we have to inject in our school system. Train all your people and give them all the PhDs that you want. If you don't give them, if you don't inject them this vaccine, nothing will work.
Okay. When some persons think that because Equatorial Guinea is sending back Cameroonians, the Cameroon government should reciprocate, is that the best way to think this around?
Well, I don't blame people who think like that. But I don't think that Cameroon government should start sending back Equatorial Guineans.
Not necessarily Equatorial Guineans. We have
Nigerians, we have
so many
Malians, and the
Cameroon,
other people. And it is not all foreigners in Cameroon that have legal stay in Cameroon. And sometimes our law enforcement order, they will arrest these people, but they will not deport them. They are going to judge them or maybe take them through the Cameroon law. You know, like they will jail them. And most of them, they have their communities here. The communities will intervene and see what to do. I think that Equatorial Guinea has been doing this for a long time, and it is wrong. The Cameroon government really has to send a strong message to them. Africa is one. And talk less of the fact that Equatorial Guinea and Cameroon, they are in one economic zone. At least they should have that sympathy for one another. So it is not that everything, or they don't have legal stay, we have to send them away. What about your own people that are in Cameroon that don't have legal stay? Cameroonians have welcomed them. And even when there is a problem, we try to see how to fix this problem and not to send the people away. So to me, I don't think that Equatorial Guinea has done well or they are doing well. Even if the people don't have documents to stay in your country, don't send them away. I don't buy that idea.
Okay. A question for all of us here. I'm going to read this message before I get back to all of us. It says that, good evening, Mr. Leo and panelists. I want to give my point of view as a Cameroonian abroad. When in Cameroon, we do not see the opportunities. We only pay attention to the fancy lifestyle shown especially on social media, so we want to be there. Truth be told, the country you travel to also matters. If you succeed, good for you. Then you start thinking of building an empire in Cameroon. Then you turn back to trust people in Cameroon to invest through them. But because they do not have the business or multiplication mindsets, every dream you have in helping yourself, them, and the government of Cameroon falls flat because of terrible management. The government Two, is not making things better with the different bottlenecks. So I think it's a system problem from the government and a mindset for the Cameroonian people. In conclusion, I'll advise people to travel because by this you will learn. My traveling has been my biggest teacher. Radisson Blue is writing from Sweden. He's raising an issue, very, very capital issue. All of us say there are no investment opportunities. Back here, we don't see them. But all of our brothers who have money out there, they're investing. Yes. So if there are no opportunities, how come almost everybody who travels is investing back home? But I've had the opportunity of also engaging one of the biggest big business tycoons in the Southwest region, who told me that he made so much money in the United States of America, he's invested enormously in Cameroon. But the problem is he does not even have a good worker, because here he puts so much money, gives it to Cameroonians to run. All they do is they want to take the money to go and drink, go to all the bars around. That is, you said there are no investments, but when those who are out there who now see investment opportunities put it, and then they hand it to you, you don't even have time to manage it, because you want to go and enjoy.
Yes, I think one thing, read his conclusion that traveling is part of learning. When they make the money, they want to invest, and when they invest, Cameroonians don't know how to manage. Why don't they know how to manage? Mindset problem, education problem, and our yes, like what doctor is saying. But I think when they travel, they make it. Is it easy to raise? Doctor has put it clearly that capital is not only about the money, but it's an aspect of investment. So that is somebody who has made it. He has made it big, but he's looking for people. It's just the same like people who travel out of the country. When they come and eat in our restaurants, they say we lack customer service. So we have a lot of things we lack that we need to fix them. All of us will start fixing. The neighbors will not sweep their house and our own house gets clean. But how do we start getting the brooms? That's where the issue is. And I think that the Cameroon's problem is it's an Africa, like my brother would put it, it's an African problem. It's one that the paradigm, the mindset has to be changed. But majority of these people who preach, I want you to carry out an online survey as we are talking. Put it online that Cameroonians who are outside, put 3 questions. How many of you want to stay out? How many of you want to come back? How many of you want to invest? Put the question online. Let's see how many Cameroonians are out of the country who want to come back to this country. If there are 100, I bet you 90 want to stay. 10 will want to come back to this country. Why? Because no, it's not only about when you talk about mindset, what happens? No, because no, I'm telling you 90% will want to stay out and 10 will want to come back, because they have seen the opportunity, they have exploited the opportunity. Some will prefer to be working and sending the money. Even in Cameroon, we are still crying for dual nationality, because a lot of our brothers who are there, they get the money, but there is no way because of dual nationality to invest back the money they want to. So they have made the money, and that's why they are investing. When they were in the country, they didn't see the opportunity. It goes that when they go out there, first, I want to ask you, a Cameroonian in America, what is he investing in? Americans have invested. It is Cameroon that has the virgin market, and it will take money, because you have to do training. Because when you have business workers in Cameroon, there is one thing that we lack in our business places: employee training and retention. A lot of people don't train their employee. They employ people, they don't train them. And if you don't train people, you don't even retain them. The moment you talk to your boss, tomorrow you are fired. I know of a situation where somebody asks for salary increase. They go and bring you application of the number of people who want to occupy that position for a lesser pay, and then you move out. And so we have retention crisis, we have training crisis, we have a lot of problems that when those of our brothers who have seen it out there, they invest, they get discouraged. But the mindset problem is there, the education problem is there. But first things first, they got the money out before thinking of investing. Why didn't they stay here to get the money and see the opportunity?
Okay, they got the money before coming back to invest. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and the panelists are enjoying the show live. Sisi is writing from Tingo Obang. Mindset, you are correct, but let's look at it this way. The age group that are active in our government is not given the space for the youths. Okay, Mr. Kum, good evening. Gala is writing from Abamenda. Among all ministers and directors in Cameroon, the youngest of them is 56. Where do you expect the young graduates to do or to go and work? That's the public service mindset. Yeah.
There are only 60 ministers.
Yeah, so
Everybody wants to be a minister. That's not it. We have to move. I accept it's already wrong to have those old people sitting there. That's wrong. There's no, and many of them are not they are not efficient.
Okay.
There's no question. But it is the issue is not about working in the public service. Look in the private sector. That's where the juice is.
hello, Mr. Leo. Good evening, and other panelists in the studio. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I'm writing from Bonaberi Douala. I want to say a lot of youth want to invest, but what the panelists are not talking about is the source of funding. Okay, the all in power should also think of leaving power as proof of good mindset. Okay, good evening, Mr. Leo. Cameroonian youths have refused to understand that making it is subjective. I once had the illusion that I could only make it working in the civil service or for someone, but now I'm doing better than most of my peers who traveled abroad just by doing business. Our youth needs to understand that it takes time and hard work to be successful wherever you are in the world. Sadly, they don't put in these while in Cameroon. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm Peter, writing from Limbe. Considering the increase in taxes and the increase in the prices of goods and services, why on earth should a worker be paid 40,000 francs a month with 41,700 francs as minimum wage? How is it possible to live with that? If a government worker can complain about a salary of 250,000 to 300,000 francs, how do you expect another person to cope with 40,000 francs? Good evening, Mr. Liu. You people are using the same tactics the government uses to justify bad governance, by always comparing our country with countries that are worse than us instead of comparing ourselves with those ahead of us. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to everyone in the studio. The topic today is an excellent one. Please, in my opinion, our mindsets can only be changed by changing our educational system. Please, after, help me with Dr. Nick's number. Okay. Yes. Can
I just say something about the person who was saying that 45,000 francs pay all this? Listen, you get paid for value. What value do you bring? It is the value that determines how much you earn.
Not in Cameroon.
No, wait a minute. Wait.
Not in Cameroon.
No, wait. It is the value that you bring that determines how much you earn. That's the first thing. It is the problem that you are going to solve. The bigger the problem, the more you would earn. The bigger the problem or the challenge that you can solve, the more you would earn. And it's not just one factor. You know, if you are doing an unskilled job where there are many people that can do the same job like you, I mean, it's a principle. Even in America, it happens. You will not earn as much as someone who is making rockets to go to the moon. So it is the problem that you solve. Train yourself to be able to solve that problem that people are looking for solutions to. That's how you earn money. Let's track back. How do you earn money? Why must somebody pay you? Somebody removes his hard-earned currency and pays you because you were able to solve a problem that they could not solve. That's the basic thing. So if you want more money, train yourself, get the skills to solve the problems that are out there for which the public wants to pay, not the government. If you keep thinking about the government, you get it wrong.
That's in a normal country.
No, there's nothing like normal country. We are all human beings. There's nothing like that. Let's put it this way. If your roof is leaking, whether you're in Cameroon or Burkina Faso, you go look for a carpenter that can fix the roof. That's the bottom line. It has nothing to do with it. So that is the issue. Look, and then it's a free market. It's a free market, and whoever is paying for something, you cannot force him to pay more when there are so many other people that can do the same thing. So if you want to come out of that pool and earn more,
when every anniversary is an opportunity to reward loyalty, Orange is here to celebrate its 25th anniversary with all Cameroonians. Many prizes to win for the occasion, tourism trips, latest smartphones, and lots of other surprises. Quick, subscribe to Orange Bonus on #111*1# or via the Maxit app. Gather a max of points and try to win great prizes. Orange is here.
What this one says: good evening, Mr. Liu. I enjoy the program. One problem with our youths which causes them not to grow is embezzlement. Example, you take a child to work with you for settlement. Before you know it, he or she is already living a luxurious life with your money, and he will be sacked. Patrick is writing from Douala. We are talking about, you are the one who raised the issue of funding. Do we really lack our funding? When you look at how much young people spend in snacks every day in a week, how much young people spend on women, we can easily rally ourselves for a trip to Kribi to spend 500,000 francs contributed, go to Limbe. Almost everybody. We have money for these things. We take young girls. I'm not sure very young girls, they use far expensive phones than I do. They're weak. They wear. And almost everything, they are so expensive. But we are looking for funding. Is that not also a problem?
Well, Mr. Liu, when you look at those who live those luxurious life, we have this set of youth in the society today. They call them scammers. Yeah, they spend their money the way they get it. Not all the youth, and I think, like I was saying, if you look back there in Burkina Faso, their new president is really putting things in place and has created jobs, and their population is happy and is helping them. So in our own country, it is not conducive because the government has allowed many things. Like my brother was saying, foreigners are respected in Cameroon more than Cameroonians, because even the Nigerians you are talking, even the Chinese, when they come to Cameroon here, they come with a lot of capital. Our people, they respect them. They don't really respect us that way too. So I think it is all about the government really trying to see how they can ameliorate the situation and also help this private sector, so that when people try to do business on their own, it will help them to grow. Because when you start up something and tomorrow taxation is after you and you find yourself locking down, you go do bike riding, you will not survive. It will not be easy for you. So I think it is all about the government also helping us and our educational system.
So you think that you have no problem with young people. I want us to take a typical example. Take 50 guys who are in the States, who for the past 20 years have been sending money to their relatives. There they are assisting. How well are we using the money? Almost everybody will complain that the money was chopped.
Yes.
I don't know whether you have had that. You have relations who are out there. They will tell you that I will not do any business with anybody in Cameroon because I send money to either my auntie or my brother or sister. They are the ones who are spending very, very lavishly in the hotels, and they're living very large.
Yeah, what you're saying is true, and a lot of
people have been disappointed. You're out there working and burning the midnight candle. When you send the resources back home, you send the resources to a family and they interpret it differently. They are here, they don't know your struggles. That's why when you are out there, you have to tell them the truth, because they think that you are out there and just going around picking the money from the streets or plucking them off some trees or something like that. When you send it to them, they think it's a gold mine. They didn't know what sweat went into generating those resources. And sometimes they will say it is our father's money, he paid a flight for you to go, so we have a right to use it. So they would abuse the opportunity and then say, yes, your own opportunity is out there, what you are sending to us is our own share of that opportunity. And that's how they think, and they mess up everyone. And it's easier to send that money, let's say to a consultant, a company or something, to put up something for you, than to use your relatives to do it. And like I said, even if your relatives had a good intention, we have not been trained to invest. We have not been trained on how things work. And when people have not learned entrepreneurship, it doesn't matter how much money you give them, it will not work.
Okay, it's not going to work. You wanted to add to what he said earlier on?
I wanted to react to what
Doctor is saying?
Dr. Nick said earlier. You know, Doctor, you're a mind builder, which it's much respected. If you Google the pay packages of particular profession in the Western world, it is public. Google the pay packages of professions in Cameroon. We don't have it public. Meaning that somebody can take an accountant and pay the accountant 50,000, and nobody will penalize the person for that. So whatever we are saying, we want to go back to policy making, principle, policies, leadership, the government. Because when our mindset is tight, because the policies we have, they tighten us too. You want to start, people in Cameroon, during graduations of the University of Boya, you hear people say that when I finish graduate, can open call box. Truth be told, after you put on a kiosk, a call box kiosk, the next day, council will come and carry it and go and station it. Past where the council people are, Cameroonians who have taken their investment, 500,000, 600,000 to buy bikes. The bikes are being packed somewhere. So there are a lot of policies, and the policies should be made very clear. It is true that our brothers who are out there, they work all night, because when they come back here, they chop money, they enjoy money, because enjoyment that way is a luxury. To sit and have people to drink with out of the country is a luxury. That we understand. It's the same like where you go, because people who go there with a mindset that they are going to the farm. You don't go to the farm and sleep. You don't go to the farm and play. You don't go to the farm to eat. You go to the farm, you work. When you come back home, you have a bath and you sleep. So they have taken that section, or the other countries, to be their farms. But what is happening? Why is Cameroon? Because Cameroon, we call it Africa in miniature. It is true, we accept that we have the opportunities. But why is the ground not level? How many people comparatively are making the survival lines? So it is true. And then doctor said that in Cameroon, that's why I was going to Google, maybe in the United States, how much do you pay a database analyst annually? You will see it. How much you pay an accountant annually? You will see all those things. Google the top paid jobs out of the country. You will see it. Google the top paid job in Cameroon. You will not see it. So we are talking about value. It is true that if you want to make it, add value to yourself. The more value you add to yourself, the more you will be paid. And I said when Doug was talking, that in a normal country, not in Cameroon, Cameroon is not part of that normal country that will look into you and see that value you have and pay you worth it. Cameroonian employers are always threatening that sometimes when you even do your best, and the moment you start asking for something better, they will always threaten you. And that is why, doctor, I said, your school, Vianney is my very good friend. We did masters together, and he would tell me how much you have meetings, you train your workers, you make sure that they follow policies. How many companies do that? How many institutions, how many workplaces make sure that there are seminars for their worker, they train them? Because when you train your worker, that worker becomes an asset. The moment you are losing that worker, you know that you are losing an asset to the world. If you want to evaluate assets of a company, most people will start counting the building. Like you come to Media Prime, you want to count but you don't want to count the personnel, the human resource that manages the building. Because if the technicians are bad technicians, you buy cameras every day, you spend more. If the journalists are bad journalists, you will not have people watching the TV. So you want to count your asset, you start counting your human resource, you count them because they manage the other asset. But in Cameroon, we lose our human resource, we don't care. I started by saying that, are you sure Cameroon government has statistics of our working population? They don't. When last did we do a census? So they don't even know what population is employed and which one is not employed.
Okay.
Let me just add one little thing, because we are here to educate the public. Let me add one little thing, then brother, you can have the microphone. Because when it comes to, I've been employing people for 25 years, employing and paying. Now, how are salaries fixed? You know, we got this thing that we think that when you have, there's some barem somewhere, if you have a license or a BSc, you have to earn this. You have a master's, you have to earn this. You have a PhD. I mean, that mindset. No, that formula doesn't work in the private sector. Might be it works in the civil service, but in the private sector, the thing is, what can you do? You can have whatever degree, but you are paid for job done. And let me explain something again, which is very, very important, so that every youth should understand. If you come to a company, this TV house is a company, St. Louis is a company, right? Like Song was saying, the key asset in every establishment is the human capacity. The people who work the machines, who make it turn around. And if you are a worker in my Media Prime, if you are a worker in St. Louis or wherever, give it any name as you wish, with Dangote, what is it that you should be doing so that you can become the best worker in that company? When you work in a company, work in such a way that even if you are a sweeper in the company, be the best sweeper that ever existed. Sweep in the company so much that they will come and employ you to go and be the sweeper in the presidency. What is the quality of your work? Do you put love? Do you put your love in it? Do you do it in such a way that when you polish the shoes, somebody will stand and admire you and say you know how to polish shoes? That is the thing. When people come to a job site and are holding back, I will not give my best because the salary is only 40,000. That's where you will stay. The thing is, empty yourself, do your best. If they don't value you, there's no problem. Nature is going to provide you another platform, and you will move to that platform like a king. But each time you hold yourself back, you are killing yourself. So what is the secret of success? What is the secret of having more wherever you're working? Do your best. If you are not doing your best, put in all the time it takes. Have great customer service. Be respectful. Respect the company rules and make sure you are working. Don't be an eye servant. If you are an eye servant, there will be a problem. If there are 10 people working in a company, this is the mindset you should have. Work in such a way that if during bad weather and they're downsizing, you will be the last person to be sent away from that company. When you put that in the mirror, it also means that when times are better, if they had to add a penny on anybody, they would think of you before the others. Be such an indispensable person to a unit. When you make yourself indispensable by the value and quality of your work, you will get the honey. But if you if you are an eye servant, I bet you dig you at grief. Thank you.
Okay, we are soon wrapping up. From here, please, Mr. Liu, ask Doctor why most of the best workers are rather exploited by some employers. Dear Mr. Liu, starting salary is not the main issue. It is like a seed, but it is how we use it that matters. I started work with a private organization in 1997 on a salary of 22,000 francs. I invested in myself development, and by the time I left the same organization, I was earning about 300,000 francs. Jacob is writing from Bomenda. Good evening, sir. The problem in Cameroon is lack of good policies. If Cameroonians were actually the problem, They won't survive when they step out of Cameroon. We need good policies. Take a look at our educational system. How many government technical schools are there in our nation? Cameroon is so rich with human resources, capital, and materials, but wickedness in the hearts of leaders has kept the country stagnant and a living hell to the youth. Okay. This one says this is a very crucial problem which is caused by the government. If there were available jobs in Cameroon, people would not be walking around looking for jobs. They talk about self-enjoyment, that even you open your business today, taxation will come and tax what you are not even earning, yet causing it you to close up. And Sylvester is writing from Bamenda. Greetings, Mr. Liu. I want to agree with what Dr. Nick said. Many of us youths keep complaining of no job, but have no skills to solve a problem. Even out of the country, you are being paid based on the value you add in a place. Reasons why when you reach there, you not about your certificate. We should rather look for ways to solve problems and money will enter our pockets. Daniel is writing from Boya. This one says, I studied marketing management. I invest in buying palm oil from Cameroon and sell to Nigeria. In the university, we were trained to create jobs instead of waiting for employers to employ us. So I never thought of being employed by an individual or government, but to be self-employed and create jobs. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Does it mean that there is no Cameroonian representative in Equatorial Guinea? My name is Fogwe Jones, writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm enjoying the program. Cameroonian youths are intelligent and full of potentials, but they face significant challenges in pursuing business opportunities. The playing field is far from level due to issues such as inconsistent electricity supply, poor road infrastructure, excessive taxation, limited financial literacy, and corruption, especially from uniform officers. My regards to Dr. Nick. The maker is writing from Boya. Yes, what can government do to help reduce this rate of guys wanting to move at all costs? Because even as we speak, there are millions who are making their passports and also gathering so much money to pay guys to take them out of this country.
Yes, thank you for that question. The question is a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult because many people have been telling this government what to do, and the government have been getting the solutions. But unfortunately, we live in a country where the government does not want to change. And since the government does not want to change, what should you do? You have to also change your mentality, change your mindset to make it, just as some other people are making it. If we sit here, we begin to name things that the government should do. These things they know. They have been hearing it over and over and over, and they are not doing anything. So to me, I think that rather than still waiting on this government that they should do this and do this, you should think on how you can change your mindset and make it. That is where my focus is for today. Because many people are falling a victim of fraudsters from their own families, from friends, and from people they don't know. Now, how do we solve this problem? If you can raise 5 million, it means that if you can raise 5 million in Cameroon in less than 6 months to follow a program that they are telling you in Dubai or in America, it means you can make it in Cameroon. If you can raise 2 million, 10 million, to follow a program in America under 1 year, it means you can make it in Cameroon. Why don't you use that very force, that very mindset, and make it here? It is very possible. Let us stop playing the victim game. The government, yes, the government have their part to play. If they are not playing their part, what should I do? How do I come out? How do I still make it in life? Will I keep on being in the place of, oh, the government is this, the government is that? We talk about tax, for example. I've been hearing tax. Let's be honest. How much is the tax?
Tell me.
How much is it? For example, a little business. How much is tax for that business that you cannot pay? Okay, if those that are doing that very business and they are paying the tax, how are they surviving? They are surviving. Because there is a policy that says that when you go to Rome, do what the Romans do.
Yeah, but let's talk about the taxation issue. Dr. Nick, you are a businessman in Cameroon, and can you share the experience? Because it's like so many persons are saying, this is what is happening. This is, how does it operate?
Thank you very much. Talking about taxation is a very sensitive thing, and we have to look at ourselves eyeball to eyeball and say it as it is. Now, let's talk about taxation, not in Cameroon. Let's look at the principle of taxation and how it works and why it's important. You see, a government needs money. The government needs money to provide, you know, an enabling environment for everybody, security, health services, roads, do whatever they need to do that needs money, to pay the civil service, pay the soldiers, the police, all those people. Where does the money come from? The money comes from taxation and tax-related services. That is granted. And when you look at the taxation in Germany, the tax in Germany is very high. I think it's something like 40% or 50% thereabouts. That means when you are working and you earn 100,000 francs a month, 50,000 goes back as tax. That's how high it is in some places. In Cameroon, it's not as high. You know, it's different depending on the things you are doing and so on. And there are some these liberal things. You just pay some standard thing and so on. I just wanted to say and bring to our attention that some countries pay higher taxes than we do in Cameroon. But this is where the problem is. You see, if you buy a car in Germany and use it for 10 years, by the time you are selling it after 10 years, it's still as good as new. It's still smelling fresh. And you go to the garage just to change oil because the roads are good, everything is great. But when you buy that same car in Cameroon, after 3 years, it's a scrap because the road is terrible. The motorcycles are kicking you left, forward, center. So the question we keep asking is, what are we doing with our tax money? And that's where bad governance comes in. Cameroonians will not be unhappy paying their taxes if they actually saw that we are using the tax money just like it is being used in Germany or in Dubai or elsewhere. The question is, when you collect the tax money, what do you do with it? How are you using it? So corruption takes away more than 2/3 of whatever is collected as state budget. So yes, the budget comes in because other budget comes from taxes and custom duties and many other things. But the money is stolen. When it's stolen and the people are not punished, when it's stolen and the money is not collected and put back, people become so discouraged. And it's so unfortunate where a woman is selling roast plantains and so on, we go and seize her things, kick her around, and then because of what? Because of 300 francs or 100 francs a day. Then when she gives that money and we collect it and it's up to 1 billion, some director just takes it and puts it in his pockets and goes off to drink Dom Perignon. It's very sad. It's very, very sad. And until we correct this nonsense that we are doing in Cameroon, we are going to be in a lot of shit because we are killing the chicken that lays the golden egg. Tax the people. There's no question. Let us pay taxes. The taxes should be real, not fake. And fake in the sense that you come and make the taxes big and you negotiate and so on. Because many of us, you have seen, you go to pay some receipt, they ask you this money when you give, what figures on the receipt is not what you paid. That's the way of life. So technically what they put on the receipt is actually what the government expected, you know, but they just do that just so that they milk you. And it's very unfortunate, but that's something that will be corrected after 2025.
Okay,
Mr. Liu, yes, yes, Mr. Liu.
Yes, been quite from
Mr. Liu, I just wanted to say that even if you see people making, as we talk right now, there are many in the church praying and fasting for their passport to come out so that they can travel, and there are many still dreaming to go by road and get to Europe by all cost, because. Even a footballer in Cameroon will still want to go travel abroad because playing abroad will make you more money. It will give you more money, and staying here, somebody playing in PWD I mean, for 25 years, cannot compare with somebody who plays in tech division in England, even for 2 seasons. So you see, it causes us to really go. And when you see, like, I was laying the complaint on the government, because they really do not want to help us. You see somebody who come out from school, he needs capital to start something. And for him to get that capital, he must work somewhere and generate that income. Yes. Then when he works, like in the private sector, everybody is doing what they like. You work for 3 months, they pay you 1 month. You work for 2 months, at times they owe you 6 months. So the thing is hell, even in the private sector. Even with the government, at times they don't pay. So it makes us to see opportunities out of the country. So the government is highly responsible for all this.
What about those who go to the level of PhDs, who go striking? Do they also need capital to set up stuff for themselves?
I think
Yeah. At least, like doctor was saying, we also need people who can think rightly. That it's not all about getting into the office for you to earn a better life. You
Okay.
can
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I will talk about the tax system, but let me come in there about the people who go right to PhD. Mr. Liu, we have said and we have decried our education system. And the education system is the reason PhD holders go on street, because PhD is for solution. If you are PhD holders and you cannot solve a solution, you cannot get a solution, then the PhD is as I don't want to use the word useless bird. We go back to our doctors. Our government officials don't go to the hospitals in Cameroon. It tells you that the hospital training those doctors, they don't trust them. That's a problem. It starts from leadership. It starts from the top. Concerning the tax system, it is true that tax is in economics.
You mean our DOs, our SDOs, all of them, when they are sick, they don't go to hospitals?
How many of them go to hospitals around? Some have private doctors. Majority of them deal with private doctors that
In
they pay.
Cameroon?
Yes, in Cameroon.
So-
In Cameroon, yes.
Yeah.
Who have studied
some
out
are
of the
doctors,
country,
yeah,
and they
who
have,
have studied
yes,
out of the
who have studied
country.
out of the country.
That have
They don't
their
trust the
clinics.
system, because people go to school, they talk about pipette, Bunsen Bernard, they have not seen. They don't know what a microscope or a stethoscope is.
So when you are sick, where are you there?
We go to the quack hospitals we have. Quack hospitals.
I won't permit that.
Yes.
Because if your uncle or a brother were to head a hospital in Cameroon,
I will say the same thing. Yes, I will say the same thing.
Okay.
I will say the same thing.
They call you
Yes.
guys quacks, eh?
Yes. No, please let me.
He's saying quack. He's saying
Yeah.
quack he's not calling the doctors quack. He's calling the system quack.
system.
Because he's not the one calling. Because if the system were not quack, our ministers and everybody would be there. That's what he's saying.
You see why I love Dr. Nick. He is very level-headed to understand that the system is that porous. So, talking about the tax, when we were in basic notes, economics from 3, we are told about taxation, and we are told that tax is the highest source of income to the government. But I think that the Cameroon government is abusing the tax system, because we feel like higher taxes we have to pay to make more money is a lie. The higher the taxes, the more the evasion. If taxes are higher, the government loses more money than when it is low. Our brothers who are out of the country, call them, they will tell you they pay more taxes than we pay here. But they will pay taxes in maybe $1, $2. Everything you buy, you're going to pay tax. The money is traced. The circulation is being traced. But in Cameroon, company tax is as high as 33.33%. Value added tax is at 19.25%. In Nigeria, value added tax should be 5%. Maybe it was recently increased to 7%. If you buy something in any company that is supposed to cost you 100,000, you end up paying 119,250 francs. It is because of value added tax, and we don't know how much, because that money VAT has to be deposited directly to the government coffers. So there is that problem that we feel like the higher we tax, the higher the money is. No. When the taxes increase, people find ways to run away from the taxes. But when the taxes become convenient, that's why in the canons of a good tax, they talk about convenience. It should be convenient, it should be clear. In those canons, if the tax becomes inconvenient, people rather escape from the tax, and it costs the government more than. Look at what is happening in their stuff that they are selling. Fiscal stamp will increase from 500 to 1,000 to 1,500. A document you have to certify recs that used to be 1,000 is 25,000 that you have to pay there. It's not helping, and it comes because when you have a government or a leadership that takes loan to embezzle, that take loans to siphon, that take loans to travel abroad, that is what happens. Because as we are speaking now, my child who is not yet born is going to pay at least 10 million in future for Cameroon, because the government has already indebted them.
Is the issue the debts or the use made of the debts? Because the United States of America has so much debt to the tune of trillions. Yep.
Yes, Mr. Leo, that it comes back to the same thing. The problem is that we have debts. You know, when you borrow money and you go to the club and you drink, I borrow money, I buy granite to sell. I will happily pay selling my granite, and you will pay crying because you have squandered the money. So the issue is that the way the debts are used, they are dead weight.
Okay,
they become a load on on the citizens instead of relieving them.
Good evening, Mr. Leo and panelists. I'm enjoying your program. Your panelists are so dynamic. Gimo Godlove is writing from Kumba. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the wonderful crew. Cameroon practice a horrible taxation system. Let's say regressive tax. There is a progressive taxation system where the government could have used this to boost the informal sector to an extent of exempting some of these sectors and smaller vendors from these numerous taxes. But the reverse is true, where there are exemptions from Chinese, French companies. Pius Dinka is writing from Douala. The earlier we prepare those to fix this copy and paste approach practiced by these sectors I've mentioned above. Okay. Greetings to the crew anchoring Prime tonight. I'm Jibwin Emmanuel Aka Jeep Legacy, watching from Bonamusadi in Douala, not far from here. I wish to say that our economic and educational system are not the best. They need reforms. Doing so will prepare and graduate the right persons to apply the right policies. Secondly, we lack the needed expertise in most of the factors, especially our teaching sector. The earlier we prepare those to fix the copy and paste approach practiced by these sectors I've mentioned above, better for us. Good evening to everyone in the studio. Living Cameroon is a need, not more a want. Please, sir, I have a small question for you. Do you see any future in Cameroon when you compare yourself with people who respected you, and now because they went out and are doing odd jobs but can save than you? This country is just like a triangle upside down. Abdul is writing from Bomenda. Please, Mr. Liu, ask Dr. why the best workers are exploited. We are going to.
I have a question.
I'm the one asking the questions here. You're asking the question to. Just make your point.
Yes. The question is this: we complain about our education system, that it is bad. But why do we still send our children to those institutions as they will come out and not have a job? Why don't we send them to where they will come out and have a job? For example, Dr. Nick is here, he has a university. And Dr. Nick, I don't think that the government stopped you from bringing out a quality university like the one you have. So I believe that we should not be waiting for the government. Even those that are in the education system, you reform your education system to be more productive. And if you want to send your child to school, send your child to a university, to a school where the child will come out and be productive. That is also something we must tell ourselves, that truth. You will not get up and say, I send my child to University of Boya to go and study geography, and now the child has no work. You have been hearing that for 50 years or for 10 years. You have seen people who went to University of Boya, came out and they are not doing anything. Why are you still sending your child there to come out and then you begin to complain? Send your child where the child will learn and come out to be productive. There is something, certificate is not the goal. You must not have a certificate. Like we are talking here, you must not have a certificate. You can leave advanced level and you go and learn a skill and you start making money. You must not have a certificate. But since everybody want to have a certificate, now we are caught in the trap of having certificates. So
Okay.
that is a problem.
Yeah, almost everybody says, okay, the system has failed, the system has failed, the system has failed. How do we fix it? Because the same persons who are complaining, like you say, you're asking the question why they are not sending their children to these commercial and technical universities, because they have a choice to decide on that. Now we have also elections that are coming where people are supposed to also take a decision, but seemingly nothing is happening in that direction.
Well, thank you very much. You're asking a very important question, and you are saying, okay, elections are coming, and this is the time when we should sanction people who are not working well and put in place people who are working well. But that's where the problem lies, because if you actually ask even the opposition people who want to take the power, how do you solve problems? How do you create 1 million jobs for youths? They will not tell you. You see, and that's why sometimes when I speak, people think I'm arrogant. And of course, you know, Mr. Lyoda, I've been talking about my third option, which will be the solution to the problems of this country. Whether we like it or not, you cannot go bypass the third option. It's the third option that will solve the problem. If you know what the third option is, fine. If you don't know, research. But the third option is what will solve the problems of this country, because we have what it takes in our hands. And this country needs a government made up of technocrats and entrepreneurs who understand all these problems we are talking about, who will start solving the problems on day one and giving an account to President Paul Biya. The government that is here there have been 33 governments that have failed successfully, and we continue in that light. You cannot continue doing the same thing and expect a different. It will not work. The opposition is so weak and so disoriented, they don't know what it is. And these are the questions you should ask, whether they are CPDM opposition or what. When somebody, before you vote somebody, be it a councillor or whatever, or your family head, number one, what have you done for yourself? Number two, what have you done for the community? Number three, what have you done for the state? People should be able to show you what they have done. Don't ask for their certificates. People who have been appointed, you were appointed DO, you were appointed governor. Those appointments are not. It's not a success story. A success story. Okay, when you were governor, what did you do? Which is the village road that you helped to construct when you were a governor? People should be able to tell you concretely what they did to help some other person. If you were a governor or a minister and you send your children to Paris, that's your good deed. Point to us the two villagers or the two children from the villagers that you sent to the primary school.
We are out of time.
Look for those things.
We are out of time. We have to end here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. I said what I wanted to say. The third option is the way.
No, we don't have time. I would have asked you to tell me about the third option. We are going to plan. Yes, we'll do a different program to talk about that. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Thank you. And as the elections are coming, we want a change. We should also be very careful. Change can be that you are leaving the frying pan into fire, not leaving the frying pan to the table. So like what the doctor said, we want a change, but we should also choose that change carefully. And I think that Cameroon has a better future.
Okay, Satanto, thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. Thank you. I think, like you just end by saying elections are coming, I would like to encourage all Cameroonian youth, those who are discouraged and they don't want to maybe ever vote again because they think voting will change nothing. I think people should go and get their voters card so that when the time comes, we can make the change correctly. Thank you very much.
Yes, Mr. Song, thank you for coming.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Leo and the cream of panelists. At the end, moving out of the country or migration is not the disease. It's just a symptom. And those who are responsible should look for the cause and then fix it. And for the electorates, please, the truth is we understand that we are frustrated. We are tired. We feel like elections are going to be rigged. But we advise everyone to get their voters' cards ready. As it stands now, we don't know who we are going to vote, but certainly we know that there are some people we might not vote.
Okay, we want to thank you guys. The reactions from the viewers, tremendous reactions. most of them are so happy for the education they have had. Dear Mr. Liu, I wanted to express my sincere gratitude for organizing a great program with dynamic panelists in particular. I appreciate Dr. Nick's contributions, who fearlessly speaks the truth and effectively corroborates the points raised by other panelists. However, there will be a noted option as things must change. Okay. Thank you to you guys, Desmond and Eli, for producing. Tabi Tambe Bryant for supervision. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.